Hello again, so happy you could join us. We're reading from the Complete Jewish Bible, which is a translation of the Hebrew Bible. Deuteronomy chapter 6, verses 4 through 9, Shema. Hear, Israel, Adonai our God, Adonai is one, and you are to love Adonai your God with all your heart, all your being, and all your resources. These words, which I'm ordering you today, are to be on your heart, and you're to teach them carefully to your children. You're to talk about them when you sit at home, when you're traveling on the road, when you lie down, and when you get up. Tie them on your hand as a sign. Put them at the front of a headband around your forehead, and write them on the doorframes of your house and on your gates. Matthew chapter 6, verses 9 through 14. Our Father in heaven, may your name be kept holy. May your kingdom come. Your will be done on earth as in heaven. Give us the food we need today. Forgive us what we have done wrong, as we too have forgiven those who have wronged us. And do not lead us into hard testing, but keep us safe from the evil one. For kingship, power, and glory are yours forever. Amen. We're up to Genesis chapter 17. The whole community of the people of Israel left the Sin desert, traveling in stages as Adonai had ordered, and camped in Rephidim. But there was no water for the people to drink. The people quarreled with Moshe, demanding, "Give us water to drink." But Moshe replied, "Why pick a fight with me? Why are you testing Adonai?" However, the people were thirsty for water there, and grumbled against Moshe. For what did you bring us up from Egypt? For why did you bring us up from Egypt? To kill us, our children, and our livestock with thirst? Moshe cried out to Adonai, "What am I to do with these people? They're ready to stone me." Adonai answered Moshe, "Go on ahead of the people and bring with you the leaders of Israel. Take your staff in your hand, the one you used to strike the river, and go. I will stand in front of you there on the rock in Horeb. You're to strike the rock, and water will come out of it so the people can drink." Moshe did this in the sight of the leaders of Israel. The place was named Massah, testing, and Meribah, quarreling, because of the quarreling of the people of Israel, and because they tested Adonai by asking, "Is Adonai with us or not?" Then Amalek came and fought with Israel at Rephidim. Moshe said to Joshua, "Choose men for us, go out and fight with Amalek. Tomorrow I will stand on top of the hill with God's staff in my hand." Joshua did as Moshe had told him and fought with Amalek. Then Moshe, Aaron, and Hur went up to the top of the hill. When Moshe raised his hand, Israel prevailed, but when he let it down, Amalek prevailed. However, Moshe's hand grew heavy, so they took a stone and put it under him, and he sat on it. Aaron and Hur held up his hand, the one on the one side and the other on the other, so that his hand stayed steady until sunset. Thus Joshua defeated Amalek, putting their people to the sword. Adonai said to Moshe, "Write this in a book to be remembered, and tell it to Joshua. I will completely blot out any memory of Amalek from under heaven." Moshe built an altar, called it Adonai Nissi, "Adonai is my banner," miracle, and said, "Because their hand was against the throne of Jah, Adonai will fight Amalek generation after generation." Joshua chapter 17, please. This was the territory chosen by Lot for the tribe of Manasseh, for he was the firstborn of Joseph. As for Machir, the firstborn of Manasseh, the father of Gilad, because he was a warrior, he got Gilad and Bashan. So the lot was drawn for the descendants of Manasseh according to their families, for the descendants of Aviezer, Halek, Azriel, Shechem, Hefer, and Shemida. These were the male descendants of Manasseh according to their families. But Solof, Chad, the son of Hefer, the son of Gilad, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, who had no sons, only daughters. These are the names of his daughters: Machlah, Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah. They approached Eleazar, the Cohen, Joshua the son of Nun, and the leaders, and said, Adonai ordered Moshe to give us an inheritance together with our kinsmen. Therefore, in keeping with Adonai's order, he gave them an inheritance together with the kinsmen of their father. Thus, 10 parts fell to Manasseh, in addition to the land of Gilad and Bashan beyond the Jordan, because the daughters of Manasseh had an inheritance along with his descendants, but the land of Gilead belonged to the rest of the descendants of Manasseh. The border of Manasseh began at Asher and went to Micham-tat, which is across from Shechem. Next, the border went along to the right to the people of Ain Tapuach. The land of Tapuach belonged to Manasseh, but Tapuach on the border of Manasseh belonged to the descendants of Ephraim. The border descended to Wadi Kana, south of the Wadi, by cities which belonged to Ephraim among the cities of Manasseh. But the border with Manasseh was on the north side of the Wadi, and it ended at the sea. Southward it was Ephraim's, northward it was Manasseh's, and the sea was its border, while to the north they extended to Asher, and on the east to Jissachar. In Asher and Jissachar, Manasseh had Beit Sha'an and its villages, Jivleam and its villages, and the inhabitants of Dar and its villages, of En-dor and its villages, of Ta'anak and its villages, and of Megiddo and its villages. 3 districts in all. But the descendants of Manasseh could not drive out the inhabitants of those cities. The Canaanites wanted to stay in that land. After the people of Israel had become strong, they made the Canaanites do heavy labor, but didn't completely drive them out. Then the descendants of Joseph spoke to Joshua. They said, Why have you given me only one lot and only one portion to inherit? After all, I am a great people, since Adonai had blessed me too. Joshua answered them, If you are a great people, go up to the front and clear land for yourself there in the territory of the Perizzites and the Rephaim, the Perizzites and the Rephaim, since the hills of Ephraim don't give you enough space. The descendants of Joseph replied, The hills won't be enough for us, and all the Canaanites living in the valleys have iron chariots, both those in Beit Sha'an and its villages, and those in the Jezreel valley. Then Joshua said to the house of Joseph, to both Ephraim and Manasseh, You are a great people with much power. You will not have only one lot, but the hills too will be yours. Although it is a forest, you will clear it, and the resulting open land will be yours. You will drive out the Canaanites, even though they have iron chariots and are strong. Psalm 17, a prayer of David. Hear a just cause, Adonai, heed my cry. Listen to my prayer from honest lips. Let my vindication come from you. Let your eyes see what is right. You probed my heart. You visited me at night, and you assayed me without finding evil thoughts that should not pass my lips. As for what others do, by words from your lips I have kept myself from the ways of the violent. My steps hold steadily to your paths. My feet do not slip. Now I call on you, God, for you will answer me. Turn your ear to me. Hear my words. Show how wonderful is your grace, Savior of those who seek at your right hand, refuge from their foes. Protect me like the pupil of your eye. Hide me in the shadow of your wings from the wicked who are assailing me, from my deadly enemies who are all around me. They close their hearts to compassion. They speak arrogantly with their mouths. They track me down. They surround me. They watch for a chance to bring me to the ground. They are like lions eager to tear the prey, like young lions crouching in ambush. Arise, Adonai, confront them, bring them down. With your sword, deliver me from the wicked. With your hand, Adonai, from human beings, from people whose portion in life in this world. You fill their stomachs with your treasure. Their children will be satisfied too, and will leave their wealth to their little ones. But my prayer in righteousness is to see your face. On waking, may I be satisfied with a vision of you. Matthew chapter 17. 6 days later, Joshua took Kepha, Peter, Jacob and his brother, Johanan, John, and led them up a high mountain privately. As they watched, he began to change form. His face shone like the sun, and his clothes became as white as light. Then they looked and saw Moshe and Elijah speaking with him. Kepha said to Joshua, "It's good that we're here, Lord. I'll put up 3 shelters if you want, one for you, one for Moshe, and one for Elijah." While he was still speaking, a bright cloud enveloped them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my son whom I love, with whom I am well pleased. Listen to him." When the Talmudim heard this, they were so frightened they fell face down on the ground. But Joshua came and touched them. "Get up," he said, do not be afraid." So they opened their eyes, looked up, and saw only Joshua by himself. As they came down the mountain, Joshua ordered them, "Do not tell anyone what you have seen until the Son of Man has been raised from the dead." The Talmudim asked him, "Then why do the Torah teachers say that Elijah must come first?" He answered, "On the one hand, Elijah is coming and will restore all things. On the other hand, I tell you, Elijah has come already, and people did not recognize him, but did whatever they pleased to him. In the same way, the Son of Man is too about to suffer at their hands." Then the Talmudim understood that he was talking to them about Johanan the Immerser, John the Baptist. As they came up to the crowd, a man approached Joshua, kneeled down in front of him, and said, "Sir, have mercy on my son, because he is an epileptic and has such terrible fits that he often falls into the fire or into the water. I brought him to your Talmudim, but they couldn't heal him." Joshua answered, "Perverted people without any trust, how long will I be with you? How long must I put up with you? Bring him here to me." Joshua rebuked the demon, and it came out of the boy, so that from that moment he was healed. Then the Talmudim went to him privately and said, "Why couldn't we drive it out?" He said to them, "Because you have such little trust. Yes, I tell you that if you have trust as tiny as a mustard seed, you will be able to say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move indeed. Nothing will be impossible for you." As they were going about together in the Galilee, Joshua said to them, "The Son of Man is about to be betrayed in the hands of people who will put him to death. And on the 3rd day he will be raised." And they were filled with sadness. When they came to Capernaum, the collectors of the half shekel came to Kepha and said, "Doesn't your rabbi pay the temple taxes?" "Of course he does," said Kepha. When he arrived home, Joshua spoke first. "Shimon, what's your opinion? The kings of the earth, from whom do they collect duties and taxes? From their sons or from others?" "From others," he answered. Then said Joshua, "The sons are exempt, but to avoid offending them, go to the lake, throw out a line, and take the first fish you catch. Open its mouth, and you will find a shekel. Take it and give it to them for me and for you." Numbers chapter 6, verses 24 through 26. May Adonai bless you and keep you. May Adonai make his face shine on you and show you his favor. May Adonai lift up his face towards you and give you his shalom. Thank you so much again for being with us. We'll see you again next time. Shalom.